Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, and welcome to a very cold evening. So as you can see, I'm all bundled up. Tonight we're going to be working on Caitlin, as I'm sure you guys guessed from the title of the video. But Mr. Phone says it's about 24 degrees out, so we got the Carhartts on, we got the warm hat. We're trying to stay a little bit bundled up even though it's going to be cold. And the temperature's just going to keep dropping, I'm sure. So anyway guys, you saw the title of the video. Tonight, we're putting this stuff back on the truck. So this is all the emission stuff for the truck. Actually, this is all the under hood stuff. This is the EGR cooler, the crossover pipes, all that. And over here we have our DPF, our catalytic converter. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what every canister is on here, but I know one's a DPF, one's a catalytic converter, and then there's other crap. So that's all going back on Caitlin. So I want to preface this by saying I don't condone, deleting the truck and all that. Of course I did. It's not something that I probably would do again, for the simple fact that this kind of led us down a road of quite a bit of money. Between second gen swapping the truck, building the 68, our current predicament, and to be honest, deleting that truck is kind of where this thing came in. And it was just all a snowball effect, and it was all downhill from there. So this truck has not had the emissions on it since it had 8,000 miles on it. So voided the warranty, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's not a hassle I really want to go through again. So we're going to be putting that stuff back on the truck, make the truck how it is supposed to be. What I did was wrong, and like I said, I don't condone you doing it, and you should leave the emissions alone on your truck. So that being said, the emissions on these newer trucks has come way. It has made a lot of advancements. So guys are actually, from the factory, they're putting out like 400 horse, 1,000 foot-pound of torque with clean stuff coming out of the tailpipe, which is pretty impressive. Now, Caitlin is a 2012, and if you guys know anything about the Cummins trucks, this is the last year before DEF fluid, and really these 2010 to 2011 trucks, as far as the 4th gen goes, they're kind of just on that narrow edge. They have miscellaneous things wrong with them that just people can't figure out. And by that, I'm talking about the ECM. The ECM is a CM2200. That computer just does not like making power. So if you try and make power with it, like in our race truck, we are able to get this truck down to a 10-second quarter mile and make 1,000 horsepower. If this was an older 6.7, or if it had the CM2100 like it does now, it would have made more power. It's just that ECM does not like to play. So that's why we ECM swapped this truck, which we're still working on, but that's not what we're focused on right now. So anyway, guys, like I said, taking the emissions off your vehicle is wrong. Don't do it. But we're going to put ours back on and correct that issue. So let's get to it. We'll put the exhaust on, and then we'll get to working on this EGR mess. Because, yeah, it's been a while since any of this stuff has really seen the light of day. The underside emission stuff is now back on. Our DPF, our catalytic converter, whatever all these things are. I don't even know. Really, it wasn't too bad. They are pretty heavy, but you know, they bolt together and slide right together. You know, they've been out of the weather. Now getting the clamp onto the little exhaust elbow up there, that was a bit of a pain trying to get my hands up in there, but really once I got this one on and all the two rubber exhaust hangers, it kind of lined right up. It was just a matter of trying to get up in there and getting it. So now we'll move to the engine compartment. So aiding us tonight in the engine compartment is our newest tool to the garage, which is this thing right here. This comes courtesy of my brother Bob and his fiance. So this was a little gift to me. Let's try her out and see how she works. Pretty excited. This is definitely something I've been meaning to get, and he thought about it for me. So let's set this thing up and check her out. So there we go. Now we have under hood lighting. This is fantastic. It just makes everything so bright. This is perfect. These things are rechargeable, but they also detach from here. So if you want to just use one of these things, yeah, definitely good looking out, Bob. That is fantastic. This is phenomenal. Though I know I'm gonna bang my head on this thing. But that's just my problem. But yeah, got some foam on there so it doesn't scratch our paint all up. But yeah, this is definitely gonna come in handy for this job for sure. Once again, Bob, thanks. This is awesome. So anyway, guys, we're gonna move in here to the underside of the hood, get our EGR cooler, all that stuff on, get our intake back how it should be, and get rid of this nasty blue thing. Yeah, so we'll probably start over here, get rid of that plate, get rid of the throttle valve delete, put all our factory stuff back in, and then kind of migrate over here. I don't know if our fleece coolant bypass is going to have to come out or not. I'm hoping not, but we will see. So yeah, definitely got some work ahead of us here, and hopefully I can figure out this this puzzle. That's exactly what it's going to be, is a puzzle. Well, we are just about compliant once again. So we got our throttle valve in, whatever this doohickey is on the throttle, I guess that's where the EGR goes in. Our EGR crossover tube, then this other little doohickey that comes out of the front of the exhaust manifold, our EGR cooler, this thing that controls this thing. Like I said, I don't know most of the names of this stuff, but it kind of all went together pretty simply. I had all the bolts together, so I was able to go through and just figure out, you know, what I needed where. I mean, we had to bolt some stuff up and then take it back off, like our heat shielding here. I needed the bolts with the studs on them and just little dumb stuff like that. We do need to fully get rid of our fleece coolant bypass, which means I'll need a block off plate for the back of the block or the back of the head, wherever that thing is bolted. I need to get one of those block off plates that guys have for freeze plugs for back there. Also, we need to get this coolant riser pipe, which I had shortened up and welded a bolt onto, so that way we could just bolt it rather than having it comes up and there's a piece of stainless kind of like back here. You guys can see that, something kind of like that, but it comes up and then connects onto here to provide the either it's coolant to it or coolant from the EGR cooler. So it's pretty simply went back on. Definitely looks a little different. I did forget this one coolant line going into the head, so I started to pull the valve cover all off because it's getting late. And yeah, all I needed was a deep well socket. We're good. There is another bracket up here that goes underneath of the valve cover. It gets bolted right here, and that covers, that allows you to bolt down the cover. Come on, get off. That allows you to bolt the cover back on to the front here, because these 6.7s from the factory have, you know, the valve cover, and then there's a cover that comes around here, bolts here, those two spots, and then right here. So for the most part, our truck is compliant. We have some tuning changes to make. We need to put an intake back in, get our coolant riser pipe, get rid of that fleece coolant bypass in the back, and plug that hole in the head. But it's coming right along. All of our electrical connections mated right up. I don't think I've missed any. So yeah, we are moving right along, that's for sure. And this light that Bob got us, this thing is fantastic. I don't know why I never got one, but I highly recommend it. For this, it's been fantastic. It just was a lifesaver tonight, that's for sure. So guys, here is the work light that my brother had gotten me. This thing was great tonight. I don't know why I never got one before this. We had it going on at full blast. I don't know how long we've been out here, but yeah, this thing is awesome. Like I said, it folds up in the middle. You can take them off individually if you just need one of these lights. They got like 2 settings, and you know, the battery's kind of starting to die on it. But we've been out here for quite a while in the cold. But yeah, this thing is great. It's got like the soft grip, so it doesn't screw your hood up, and you can rotate it. The ends here rotate, so you can kind of direct it wherever you want. But yeah, Bob, big shout out to you and Alexa. That thing is awesome. So guys, we got our DPF on. We got the whole exhaust done. That was actually pretty simple. It went pretty well right on. A little struggle there with the one clamp, but not a big deal at all. All the connections are made. The only thing we have is there's another thing. There's 2 stainless lines that come off, and they go to some hoses that gets mounted to our transmission. So that's in. Our EGR for the most part's in. We got to get that coolant riser pipe and then put our intake in and all that. But yeah, and it actually didn't get too much colder. It's you know, it's a warm 23 degrees now. I'm a little probably numb is the right word. I'm probably numb, but we got that all in. We got some tuning changes we're gonna have to make, obviously, and of course we got a transmission to install, and that truck will be just about back to factory, which is kind of odd. I know at the beginning of the video it was kind of like saying how depressed I was about the truck or whatever, but I really have that truck to thank kind of for this. Everything I did to that truck, or everything I've done to this truck for the most part, like the basic stuff when we built it with the factory engine to the 10-second truck that it was, I did on Caitlin first. So that truck was, I did head studs, I did injectors, all that kind of stuff, the valve springs, push rods. That was the first time I did it on that truck. That truck I did my first head gasket on, did our 48 RE swap, then swapped back to the 68. So that a lot of learning took place with that truck. And that's kind of what I have to thank for having the race truck, because I got that nice Laramie truck and I could never use it because it was always broken because I was snapping input shafts and stuff like that. But I kind of have her to thank for this whole setup right here. Thank her. I don't know if that's the right word. This has kind of gotten out of control. But anyway, guys, we're getting back to stock. You guys probably are figuring out, every comment I've seen, everybody's kind of figuring out what's going on. But soon we'll be there, and yeah, on to bigger and better things. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck.